Like we said, Winters Mill is trying to stay undefeated amid the best start in Falcons history, and they host South Carroll this Friday. We'll have that one for you with another CMSportsNet football game of the week. Join me and Mike Kraus for pregame coverage at 6:45, followed by kickoff at 7. Now let's get into our game of the week preview. South Carroll is looking to inject some life into an offense that has scored only 21 points this season. Quarterback Caleb Evans has completed 50% of his passes, and Braden Yeager leads the squad with 13 catches for 142 yards. But the Cavs are on a 6-game skid that dates back to last season. The Falcons are getting an all-around effort from senior Caleb Kraus. He's thrown for 299 yards, run for 360, and 10 touchdowns, and he's totaled a team-high 28.5 tackles with 1 interception and 1 forced fumble on defense. Winters Mill beat South Carroll in 2019 and 2017, but the Falcons have just 4 wins over the last 15 games in their all-time series. You can see in our team stats matchup that South Carroll needs to get its offense going in a big way. Winters Mill is averaging 27.2 points per game with a defense that allows just 6.6. Let's check in with 2 of the top defensive players in Friday's matchup between the Cavaliers and the Falcons. South Carroll sophomore Landon Hicks has 26.5 tackles, that's tops on the team, along with 2 fumble recoveries and 1 pass breakup. He also averages 19 yards per kickoff return with a long of 55 yards this year. Meanwhile, Nico Baez has 24.5 tackles from his linebacker spot. Baez also has 3 tackles for loss to go with 1.5 sacks, and he's one of the Falcons' top running backs. Now it's time to hear from both coaches as they get their teams ready to face off this week. First up is South Carroll coach Mike Crumley, whose Cavaliers are going after their first win of 2023.
Coach, we're a month into the season. You guys are still looking for that first win, I know, but you got to be looking for some positives and some optimism in terms of how things have looked for the first month or so. What would you like to see the kids if they've gone from the first day of practice to now as we get into week 6?
Sure. So the good news is that, you have some adversity in the beginning of the season through the first 5 games. And what's nice is I look at our team and nobody's out there quitting on us. We've got guys who are dedicated to continuing to try to improve ourselves on both sides of the ball. And we're seeing that effort, that sustained effort level. We're going up against some pretty tough competitions, but we're not hanging our heads. We're ready for every next game.
Does that competition, obviously, I think I know the answer a little bit, but it's going to make the kids better as the season goes on, facing those teams like you have them being a part of the year?
Certainly we think so. There's that old expression that iron sharpens iron. And we've gone up against some big boys, starting off the season down at Chesapeake, running through Ligonor, and then, of course, having Westminster and Man Valley here in the county. But that only, like you said, hopes to make us better by proving that, we go up against those guys like that. And then when we finally start to see schools that maybe match up better in size to us, that we'll be prepared for those games.
That being said, another one of those teams this week, Winters Mill, undefeated so far. What has to go right for you guys to stay in the game and try to go after that first win?
Well, that's a good point. A lot has to go right. Congratulations to Winters Mill. It's always a heady experience to be running a 5-game win streak. So the confidence that comes along with that is something that they'll be bringing to the table. So we just need to, as I said, I think a couple of months ago, if we go out and execute, if we play physical, if we play up to our ability, we'll be in every game, and that's what we're preaching to these kids this week as well.
Thanks to Coach Crumley for spending some time with us. All right, let's move over to Winters Mill and hear from Matt Miller, who said he knows the Falcons are hosting a hungry team in week 6.
Coach, we're basically halfway through the regular season, and you guys right now have passed every test. How pleased are you with the way these guys have met the challenge of the 1-week seasons through the first 5 and have come out with 5 victories?
I'm excited. I tell the kids enjoy it. Wins are hard to come by, even for good teams, and I don't want them to not enjoy the moment. It's just we got to keep our focus on the task at hand. It's certainly nice having these wins under our belt against quality teams. It's fun. I like it. It's better than losing.
You're pleased with both sides of the ball, I know, but is there one side that really has gotten you've been given more kudos to because of how they've met the challenges from the first week of the season till now?
It's been week to week. When we played against Key, we were down the whole game, and the defense kind of kept us in it. But then we come back the next week against Century, and the offense rolls with 35 points. So each week we've gotten what we needed out of the kids, and it's so many the same kids on both sides of the ball. They step up where they need to, and they give us what we need. And, last Friday we beat a good team in Liberty. That was encouraging. We stifled them when we were on defense and then we were offense. We were pretty methodical there on that first drive. It was a nice scoring drive to start the game, and we came out to win.
You're never going to take any county team for granted. Nobody should. How important is it to stress to your kids this week that, hey, we're facing South Carroll. They're looking for their first win. They're hungry. We can't look past, not that we can't look past these guys if we want to get a victory in week 6.
We've been the underdog so many times around here, and I tell our kids all the time, think about those games where we went into looking to knock off the top team. We wouldn't lay down. We wouldn't, step aside for anyone. So I don't expect they're going to do any different. It's a very proud program down there with a lot of history. And what's misleading about that team is they've played some very, very good teams leading up to this point. So that 0-5 record, that comes with a little bit of a caveat because they've kind of had a murderer's row to start. So we got to be prepared. We have got to be prepared, or they're going to give us all we can handle.
Thanks to Coach Matt Miller for the visit, and don't forget to tune in this Friday as we give you South Carroll and Winters Mill as the CMSportsNet Game of the Week. Mike Kraus joins me in the booth for the broadcast. We'll have play-by-play and analysis throughout the game. Our pregame coverage starts at 6:45, and kickoff is set for 7.
Want more local sports coverage? Be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel.